Welcome. It's another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana, which is a free year-long program I've been putting on to look at some of the deeper concepts of yoga and yoga philosophy. There's another free event coming up. You can see the link in the summary below. It's a collaborative venture with another group that's in the movement arts community here in Cleveland. It's called, I forget what it's called. You get to look it up. Anyway, it is free. It's in September. If you're at all interested, see the comments below and click on that helpful link. Okay. Today's practice is dedicated to Debbie. May you get some certainty and may that calm your mind, your nerves, your soul, thinking of you. And also to Trisha and Trisha's family. May the Father rest in peace. We're revisiting an overarching theme of Samatvam, equanimity, the ability to be yourself authentically, comfortably, no matter what is going on, as described by Bhagavad Gita, one of the key spiritual texts of many world traditions. And we are revisiting chapter 7, verse 16 from yesterday. So I'll chant it, give a quick summary, and then launch into today's topic. And if you'd like to chant along, it's in any of the Song of Your Soul books. I'll be doing the poetic translation once more. Okay? I'm taking a breath if you want to chant along with me. O Arjuna, there are 4 types of noble ones who worship me. The stricken, seekers of knowledge, seekers of wealth, and the wise ones. So hidden kind of within the nuances of this verse is the idea that those who seek the ultimate truth kind of seeks them back and is very touched by these 4 categories, including the seeming opposites of those who are seeking knowledge, so they don't have any yet. And remember, the Sanskrit term I mentioned yesterday is jignasu, which means willing to learn. So people who are willing to learn. And then at the other end of the spectrum there, the wise ones, so people who have already learned. So this gives us kind of a different take on opposites than in many parts of the Gita. For example, I've mentioned pleasure and pain, heat and cold, whether you're being talked about well or not well. And this is a little different. This is, we could say, whether you know nothing and are open to learning or whether you know a lot, have the same view of yourself on the spiritual path, that you are worthy on the spiritual path, and that it is something to embrace. I know some people go, oh, they either idolize people that seem to be more advanced than them, or kind of feel shy because, I'm going to try to go to this program, watch this video, read this book, but I don't know anything. It's okay. Your willingness to open up, to be young in that pursuit is all that's needed. And similarly, if you've gotten down the path and you're like, I've been down the path, I'm a little jaded, I'm a little crusted over, maybe I need to turn back to my studies, that's equally valid and equally dear to me with the capital M, the true self within you. Whether you're starting out on a path, whether you're progressed on the path, you are equally dear in here. So one thing this can mean is if you're studying a spiritual path, simply find more self-love. Self-love is available to you here and now if you just open yourself to it. And secondly, a corollary I think that's very valid for our Western culture, and specifically with the Olympics that just happened. Yay, Olympics. Um, we can look at age, actually. Age. Young people are often seen as, they need to be taught. And children are so eager to learn, right? So they are ripe for the spiritual path. Sometimes we say, I don't want to burden them with heavy subjects. But if you've ever heard a child ask you things like, where do we come from? What happens when we die? You know that that's already on their minds. And giving helpful answers at that age can be huge in a person's development. But also, no matter how old your physical body is, you can start on the path too. It might take a little doing to get back into that mindset that you had of just great curiosity and enthusiasm, but that's okay. You're bringing your experience. So I'm mentioning this because it seems in our culture, it is in our culture that youth is so highly valued and age is not. Young, good, old, bad. Surgery to not look old, right? Um, but on the other hand, we value experience. Like when I go to see my physician, I don't want somebody fresh out of med school. I want somebody who's lived life that can relate to some of the things I've gone through. We have this dichotomy. We need to learn to accept both aspects. The younger doctor may be more enthusiastic, which I found with my new younger doctor. She's very enthusiastic, very up on the current, everything, and a lot of energy. So today I'm inviting you to really examine your beliefs about age, ageism, especially your own age. What do you think you can't do anymore because of your age? What do you think you can do? And challenge. First, sit with that assumption and notice it, and maybe notice where it came from. And then, can you challenge it? We're going to start with our physical practice, the balance pose. And I've heard from some of you who are not what we would call spring chickens, that just daily practice of this balance pose is improving you. So, whatever age you are, just trying this every day can make a big difference. Foot can go anywhere, on the ground or up. Switch. Wonderful. Let's have our contemplation on how you feel about your age, where you got those ideas. 5 minutes. Welcome back. Welcome back. I mentioned the Olympics. It can be interesting to examine your reactions when an athlete is super young going for the gold, or, in your opinion, older and going for the gold. Because we'll all be a day older when we meet again with this video. How will you feel about yourself? I will still have the same amount of love for you. I can't wait to share it with you. Until then.